When I close my eyes and I think about every family that walks through this door, what do I want them to feel and experience? This isn't about values, Valerie's house values, let's put them up on the wall. No, this is who we are and what is important to us and what makes us special. Molly, would you read off what we have determined? Core values and behaviors. Read them out for us, Molly.
We passionately care. We are humble. We are positive and optimistic. We are team players and we are adaptable.
We passionately care. What does that look like? Here's what I want to tell you. We walk in our family shoes. Marshall said, you don't know what it's like to wear these shoes until you wear them. How can we walk in each other's shoes? This isn't just about how we treat our families and what we bring to the table for our families. This is what we bring to the table every day for each other. We're a fanatic about response time. Respond. Hey, someone emailed you, a family member, someone from the community, even if it's just saying, I got your email. When do you need this done by? I always say, what's your deadline? I'll be back in touch. Not just leaving it in your inbox, right? Like for 3 to 4 days. No judgment. We refrain from using stereotypes. Always a bad kid, a troubled kid, crazy parents. That's not passionately caring when we use that terminology. We should never, ever be using those sorts of adjectives for describing our families. There is no bad kid. There is no troubled kid. Stopping everything we are doing to give a tour to a family that shows up unannounced. How many times have we done that? How about if they're early or late for their enrollment? What is our response to that? Are we, come on, got things to do. Where are they? No, that isn't who we are. We know what they're probably going through to get to this house. Even if they're 30 minutes late, we make it work. We smile just as we would if they would have come on time. Wow, but now my day is thrown off. That's not who Valerie's house is. That's not part of the Valerie's house way. Maybe they're early. Let's see what we can do. Can we take this on right now? Or go and sit with them. Allowing families to take as long as they need to do an enrollment or share about their pain. Jill is great with this. No matter who answers the phone. I've heard Justin answer the phone from families. Somehow they make their way to that line. Anyone could pick up the phone at any time. Maybe it's a Charlotte family calling our main line. It doesn't matter. We're that voice. In that moment, there's a reason we picked up the phone. We're on the phone with them for as long as they need. Same goes with anyone from the public calling in or stopping by. I've seen all of us get up, stop what we're doing. I've been in situations where I come in and the grandparents are there. I want to talk and I'm with my purse and my bag. And I know I've seen you guys do this too. And it's all right, I'm going to put everything down and I'm going to sit down and talk. Because for them, they feel important, they're cared for. And that's what we want. When you're at this house, it's about them. We help point people in the right direction. We make an introduction to another agency. If we can't help, it's not, sorry, you're in the wrong place. It's, we might not be able to help, but let me figure out who can, and we're going to circle back with you. That's passionately care. That's not just we care. No, we passionately care. We avoid treating them like a number, right? What would that look like? I asked Rob that when I was writing this. I said, what do you think that means? I've heard families say, I love coming to Valerie's house because I don't feel like a number. And Rob said, it's like standing in the deli counter at Publix, right? You grab a number. Next. It's plain, no emotion. Show your emotion, laugh with them, cry with them if you need to. It doesn't look like leaving people hanging saying, I'm sorry, we can't help you. Ask about someone's day, their family, their child's school. Be cognizant of your surroundings when families are in the house. Notice them. Walk by them. Look at them. So good to see you. Thank you for being here. Who are you here for? For Sean? I'll be right back. I was at my car a couple days ago when the one family pulled up. Stop, go to my car, grab her. Let me get the door. Susan's in the back. We all work together like that, and man, does it make a difference. Something else I notice is we're just aware of our surroundings here at Valerie's house. Cole, I remember being sad that night he had that cast on before group. He was so upset. Elena said he feels miserable, he can't move, couldn't play basketball, he's lumping around. I asked Alexis to play Uno with him. She stopped everything she was doing. I want to say you had multiple things going on, put everything down, grabbed the Uno cards, and you stopped and you played with them. And Elena texted me later after that. She said, I will never be able to thank you for what you do for my son. She didn't even have to put words behind that. That lit his night up and allowed him to go into group. I get choked up because you can't teach that, right? That's who we are. Bobby stopping and printing that child's picture, staying late to do that. They didn't have a picture, and somehow or another you found your way to the room and wasn't even your group night to stay, and you're like, I got this. I'm going to get him that picture. These are examples of who we are, passionately caring for families. We are humble. This is how we work with families and each other. We're open to feedback. We accept our mistakes. We never stop learning from each other or our families. People often say, how do you know what works? And I've learned it from them over the years. I didn't have all the answers. It's just experience, being with them, seeing what works. Never stop learning. It doesn't matter who gets the credit. If a family was helped, that's all that matters. That's humble. As long as we know the family got helped, that's successful. An example is we listen a lot in meetings. We don't always interrupt each other. We ask questions to better understand each other. We say thank you a lot. A truly humble person is able to listen to and accept others while coming into their own power and success. They don't feel the need to control others, right? Some people are control freaks. Some of us have some of that natural, right? Hey, humble, which you have to work on throughout your whole life. You're confident enough to stay centered in your purpose while allowing others to discover their strengths. That is a powerful leader. Every single one of you are leaders in this room. You don't need all the answers. A humble person doesn't complain about how hard they work or make it known how many hours they put in. They're grateful to do this work. They realize the organization is not about them, it's about something bigger. A humble person is confident in who they are. Even if no one else knows how great you are, that's okay. A humble person isn't doing this for recognition. They recognize others' strengths and meet each other. A humble person doesn't wear a title at Valerie's house. They use we. Whenever you are about to say I, use we. I learned that years ago, and it helps me. Anytime you're about to say I, replace it with we. Chances are it wasn't just one person. It was several of you. No ego. As a team member in sports, you're willing to make the assist more than the goal, right? Nothing is beneath you when you're a humble person on the Valerie's House team. Alexis, read that one.
Are positive and optimistic.
This is the most important, especially with what we face every day. Our attitudes, smile, energy. We as leaders need big energy. We set the tone at the office. It takes more muscles and efforts to frown than it does to smile. I know that's kind of cliche, but it's true. Build people up in public, only criticize in private. That's a personal, you can bring Heather in if you need to, especially if they're not around. The only thing you should be saying about each other is positive, lifting each other up publicly. Even if you have concerns. In public, we build up. Private is when we can criticize, correct, and be very honest. We believe the best in people. It's just as easy to believe the best than the worst and be tormented by the what ifs. What if I can't trust this person? What if this family has an ulterior motive? What if they really are a horrible parent and are going to destroy the group? It's so much easier to just be like, you know what, we could go down that route, but why don't we think the best in people? We're seeing the good in people. One thing I've learned over the years is they might not do everything the way you would do it, but the results could be just as good, if not better, their way. We think outside the box. We hire people with backgrounds that look different. Example, Justin coming from the news industry. He didn't have a nonprofit experience, or Lauren, she's me too. We encourage them, we believe in them, we're positive, we see the best. Hey, you know what? You don't look exactly like maybe what we would hire here, but I'm gonna take a chance on you because I see the best in you. We see mistakes as learning opportunities. Even if it was a mistake, it's a learning opportunity. It's not a negative, it's not a dark thing, it's not a destroying, we've got to let someone go over it. It's like it's a learning opportunity. We just learned what not to do. It's important to remember no gossiping amongst each other in our personal lives, professional lives, no put downs. We're encouraging. It's easy to walk into a place, be negative, put someone down, gossip, toxic, right? More people are coming from something like that. And you know what? Sometimes they come in with a little bit of defense because they're thinking that's how it's going to be here. We remind them, no, you're in a completely different place. We have no choice. We have to follow this kind of stuff because of who we work with and our clientele. We are already at 6 o'clock going to be dealing with people on the worst days. We've got to get this stuff straight with each other. I always say expect something good even when we can't see the end. We have to have a hard conversation with a family member about graduating from group. Go into it with love and enthusiasm and not dread it. You know why? Because families can feel our energy, especially children. Fake it until you make it. Put aside personal negativity. Do your best not to bring personal life or stress to the office. Example, if you come into the office complaining about the night before, your kids, the this, the that, everyone's going to need that. You couldn't go in the office and close your door and turn the sound machine on. Be a ray of sunshine in this house. One of the staffs creates a toy shop for us and rearranges the gifts. Maybe we don't like exactly the way that staff member set it up, but we could start with what we love about it first, right? And then point out what we might arrange. We're always thankful for the effort of our team. We point out the good and we compliment constantly. Number 4, 2 more left. Maria?
We are team players.
How we work with each other, right? Practicing blameless problem solving. We stop what we're doing to help, even if it's not in our department. We don't say, that's not my job, I don't know. Instead, it's, I don't know, but let me help you find out. That's how we respond. We don't blame people. I'm not sure who left the food out, but I'll put it away if I come in first. Supporting each other, lifting each other up, even after a setback. Example, the pergola was a mess, and Kathy, me, Alexis, Bobby, everyone started cleaning before group. Kaylee grabbed a broom. Kathy grabbed pledge. Todd was sweaty. That's a team effort, right? We're all in. It's not your job, that's my job. We keep our commitments. We make sure the staff is trained and understands their roles. Sometimes we give a task and we expect them to figure it out. Maybe they don't know. Maybe they're afraid to ask questions. As we're hiring more, for those of you who've been here for a while, we got to put some time and effort to making sure people understand it before we tell them they did it wrong. We spend that time to properly explain it to them. We keep our meetings with each other. We trust each other. We don't question each other's capability. Last one, Mary. Hey, you know what? I can't stand when people say this, but when you run into someone here, that isn't how we've always done it, right? No, we might have a better way. We don't stress last minute changes to groups, although it can happen. We might have to work on a Saturday. This is all part of being adaptable. We're flexible. I looked up the definition for stubborn. Having or showing dogged determination not to change one's attitude or position on something, especially in spite of good arguments or reasons to do so. Things are not written in stone in Valerie's house. We've evolved tremendously from year to year. We're learning so much as we go. We realize that a lot of what we do has nuances. It's not black and white. We make exceptions for what is best for the family. We're always learning ways to get better. Like the Constitution, we create amendments over time. Bobby could come to me and say, I think we should do it like this. And we can go, let's do it like that. Let's put on a summer camp. We don't have red tape. We don't have a board that needs to be involved in everything. We can make decisions as we see fit. Things will be changing. We now have a traumatic group night. We now have toddlers and minis in group. We had to make a last minute change for the holiday party. Everyone remembers that. Hey, and I kept going, it's just a kid's party. And what I meant was, it's supposed to be full of joy. We don't need to stress. It's the holidays. Let's remember what we're here for. It was stressful, and we went with the flow. We might not have all the answers, but we can try it. And if it doesn't work, as I say, it will be a learning opportunity. We might need to share an office. Justin had his own office. Alexis moved in. And now you guys are great suite mates. We might need to run to Sam's last minute for a specific color of bead the kid asked for. We're doing it, right? Amy's role is changing now. She's helping out with locations. That's something I asked her to do. I said, this isn't in your job description. Are you willing to take the lead? She said, absolutely. I don't think there's anything I've ever asked you to do where you say no. We pivot. COVID is a perfect example. Hurricane Ian, all of it. Organizations evolve. Sometimes we outgrow employees. If you aren't adaptable or too stringent, this place might not be for you, because this is who we are. Thank you for listening. We will probably have a poster of these. At least you'll know some examples. They define our culture. Helps us make decisions on who we hire. During an interview, you might ask, give me an example. Do you think you're adaptable? Well, I don't know, I might be. Give me an example of how. How would you consider yourself optimistic? Are you a positive person? Do you see the negative? Some people just naturally are. Is that something you can work on? Because here, we need to make sure you're going to see the positive. Because you know what? We see enough of the dark in life. Sometimes that's hard to let go of. So what can we control? That's how we are with each other. These values are the way we do business. It's how we select our people. It's what we consider the rules we play by. They might get lost in the chaos, but once they're clearly defined, which we're doing right now, they're communicated regularly, and we're going to be living them as an organization. It will be only then that we can truly surround ourselves with people who will prepare Valerie's house for growth. Once defined, as they are, we must hire, fire, review, reward, and recognize people who live those core values for Valerie's house. Going forward, now we have a roadmap for how we are going to act towards our families, to each other, and now you know what's important to me personally. So if you ever say, I'm wondering why Angela's frustrated over that, or why did she make that comment? You'll know, because this is where I'm coming from. This has always been in my heart. And now, because of the help with the leadership team, I've been able to put it on paper and share it with you. I love you. I appreciate your time. Thank you guys so very much, and I love you all.